For millions of viewers, Brandi Passante became one of the most recognizable faces in reality television. With her sharp humor, confident personality, and ability to spot value in forgotten items, she became one of the stars who helped turn storage auctions into a worldwide television phenomenon. Fans watched her search through abandoned lockers, negotiate deals, and prove that hidden treasures could appear in the most unexpected places. She was quick-witted, practical, and different from the typical reality television personality. But behind the laughs, the auctions, and the success, Brandi's journey was far more complicated than what viewers saw on screen. Reality television often creates the illusion that audiences know everything about the people they watch. Viewers see the arguments, the victories, the funny moments, and the dramatic scenes carefully edited for entertainment. But what happens away from the cameras is usually much more private. For Brandi Passante, fame brought incredible opportunities, but it also came with pressure, personal challenges, and a level of public attention that changed her life forever. Before the cameras, building a life away from fame, before she became a television personality, Brandi Passante lived a relatively ordinary life. She was not someone who grew up expecting fame or attention. Like many people, she worked hard, built relationships, and focused on creating stability for herself and her family. Her personality, however, always showed signs of the qualities that would later make her successful: determination, confidence, and the ability to handle difficult situations. Brandi met Jared Schultz when she was younger, and the two eventually built a life together. They became partners in both their personal lives and their business efforts. Together, they operated a thrift store and developed the kind of hands-on experience that would later become valuable when they entered the world of storage auctions. Their relationship was an important part of their early story. Before television fame arrived, they were simply a couple working together, raising their children, and trying to build a future. Neither of them could have predicted how dramatically their lives would change once cameras entered the picture. The rise of a reality television star. In 2010, Brandi and Jared became part of the cast of the reality series Storage Wars. The show quickly became a major success, attracting viewers who were fascinated by the idea that forgotten storage units could contain valuable discoveries. The concept was simple but exciting: ordinary people searching through abandoned belongings and hoping to uncover something special. Brandi quickly stood out among the cast members. She was not interested in pretending to be someone she was not. Her humor was natural, her reactions were genuine, and she brought a different energy to the show. She became known as someone who balanced practicality with personality. She questioned risky purchases, challenged decisions, and often provided the realistic perspective viewers appreciated. As the popularity of the show grew, so did Brandi's public profile. She went from being a business owner known by a small community to a recognizable television personality. Fans followed her journey, her business decisions, and her relationship with Jared. The couple became one of the memorable partnerships associated with the series. But sudden fame also brought challenges that were not always visible on television. The hidden pressure behind reality TV success. Success in reality television can look glamorous from the outside, but maintaining a public image comes with its own demands. Long filming schedules, constant attention, and the pressure to remain entertaining can become exhausting over time. For Brandi, balancing television work with family responsibilities created a difficult situation. While viewers saw the entertaining moments, they did not always see the stress behind the scenes. Reality stars often face the challenge of having their personal lives become part of the entertainment experience. Private disagreements, emotional struggles, and family challenges can become topics of public discussion. Brandi's relationship with Jared eventually became a subject of attention both on and off screen. The couple experienced changes in their relationship, and their personal struggles became increasingly visible to fans. While television showed parts of their dynamic, the full reality of what they experienced remained personal. The end of a long-term relationship is difficult for anyone, but going through major life changes while being recognized by thousands of viewers adds another layer of pressure. Instead of dealing with personal challenges privately, Brandi had to navigate them while under public observation, choosing a different path. After years on television, Brandi eventually stepped away from the spotlight. Leaving a successful show is never an easy decision, especially when that show has become a major part of someone's identity. For years, audiences had known her as the confident woman searching through storage units and finding unexpected treasures. However, life changes, priorities shift, and sometimes people decide that a different direction is more important than continuing with the same path. Brandi began focusing more on her personal life, her family, and finding a balance away from constant public attention. Her decision showed a side of fame that audiences rarely see. Sometimes success is not about staying visible forever. Sometimes it is about recognizing when a chapter has ended and having the courage to begin something new, finding meaning beyond television. After stepping away from reality television, Brandi explored life outside the world that had made her famous. She continued developing her interests and focused on projects connected to her passion for unique items and vintage finds. For someone whose career began with discovering hidden value in forgotten things, that connection remained meaningful. Away from television cameras, she was able to experience a different kind of life, one where every moment did not need to become entertainment. She could focus on personal goals, family, and the things that mattered most to her. Many former reality stars struggle when they leave the spotlight because fame can become closely connected to identity. Brandi's journey was different because she appeared willing to redefine herself beyond the role that made her famous. Facing loss and personal change. Like anyone who has lived through decades of change, Brandi has also experienced moments of personal loss. The passing of a loved one can completely reshape how a person views life, priorities, and the future. Grief often changes people in ways that are difficult to explain, reminding them of what truly matters. For Brandi, these experiences became part of a larger journey of growth. The person viewers first met on television was someone navigating a very different stage of life. Over time, she became someone who had experienced success, challenges, changes in relationships, and personal transformation. Her story reflects something many people can relate to: the idea that life does not always follow the path we imagine. Sometimes the biggest changes happen after the moments when everyone thinks we have already reached the peak, a new chapter away from the spotlight. Today, Brandi Passante represents a different kind of success. She is no longer defined only by the television show that introduced her to millions of people. Instead, she has built an identity beyond reality TV, one shaped by personal experiences, lessons learned, and a desire for a more balanced life. What makes her journey interesting is not simply the fame she achieved, it is the fact that she was willing to change direction when life demanded something different. Many people spend years chasing recognition, but Brandi discovered that happiness does not always come from being seen by the largest possible audience. Her story is ultimately about reinvention. It is about moving from one stage of life into another and accepting that growth often means leaving certain things behind. The woman viewers remember from storage auctions is still there. The humor, confidence, and determination remain. But she is also someone who has lived through experiences that television could never fully capture. Behind the reality star was always a real person, and that may be the most interesting part of all.